can you still steal me for a second where we're going to break down today a little bit different episodes 1, 2, and 3 of this season of The Bachelor with Matt can just jump right into episode 1.
Yeah, we would have started this earlier, but one of us isn't as connected to The Bachelor as the other one,
Yeah,
and that would be
I was
me.
I was waiting for you to call me to talk about The Bachelor, much like this, in the past couple weeks, and then this week I reached out and he was like, "Oh, I didn't even know Bachelor had started. Like, what rock
No,
you live
no
under?"
idea. The only
So
thing I would have known it from is like Facebook, and I hadn't seen it pop up on my Facebook, so I guess my normal sports channels and comic book news and movie stuff doesn't tell me when The Bachelor starts.
yeah, you need to get your feeds to give you only Bachelor news, much like mine,
Oh,
because I've been waiting for Matt James since June when they announced he would be The Bachelor, which I think is also an interesting dynamic with us because I've known and been not known Matt James, but known about Matt James since I wish I knew Matt James, but I've known about him since after Hannah's season when Tyler Cameron kind of went back into the real world with his best friend Matt James, and you kind of aren't so connected to Bachelor, so just kind of this is like a whole new person for you and most of Bachelor
yeah,
Nation, I think,
yeah.
that's
I
not so
had
connected.
I had no idea who Matt James was, and I can already tell you from episode one that Matt James is tall, dark, and delish. So I'm loving Matt James already. For someone who's new to
I can't
Bachelor
argue with
Nation,
you.
he is awesome already. He has a lot of personality. He's really cool. I love that we get to see him with his shirt off like so quickly. Maybe even will top the Colton season with for shirtless scenes.
Yeah, I think they they got the right person if they want to top any other season of shirtless
Yeah,
bachelors.
he is built.
You literally can like not count high enough to count the abs on a man.
He
So they
looks like a
found the correct
giant compared
person.
to all the women too.
He's very tall. If you well you even see him standing next to Chris Harrison. He's I think the tallest in things I've heard. He's the tallest bachelor so far, just above Ben Higgins. So
Oh, Ben, we're gonna go into Ben many times.
we love Ben.
We
We
love
love
Ben,
Ben.
and he lives in the state we live in.
Honestly, he lives very close to where we're from in Indiana. So
Where is he from?
he's from Warsaw, so not like right around the corner, but
Oh
close enough
yeah,
that I played
that is.
against that school in high school. So
So
not far.
Matt's 6'5". I just double checked 6'5". He is a giant.
He's a tall dude. Yeah, tall bachelor so far, but um, yeah, I've just been excited since well, he was supposed to be on Claire's season, and then um, was announced very early, given all this COVID and the push back in June, the push for more diversity in Bachelor Nation, which I think is awesome. So that kind of announcement came in, and yeah, we've been waiting for Matt since months ago. So, well, some of us have been waiting for Matt since months ago. Some of us were just graciously surprised with Matt on our TV screen in early January.
They kind of tried to go diverse with Claire because she was the oldest bachelorette, but that
Yeah.
ended up being the worst decision of all time.
Yeah, that was led us down a dark hole. So we just kind of
We'll get into that news later. So we'll
yeah,
we'll
we'll
just
get into
start with
that.
episode one. So some of your favorites. Episode one's like a really quick overview, I'd say, because we really just
Yeah,
meet
just kind of
all the.
some fun introductions this year for the girls.
We got
Um,
which girl. Now this will be something if you stick with us that I will notoriously forget is names. So the name of the girl who brought the vibrator,
that is Katie, and she
Katie.
dildo girl. I graciously wrote in my notes as dildo girl, and I think for we have a weird dynamic this week, but for a couple episodes she was dildo girl, and now we'll get to later, but she graciously became Katie in episode 3 because of some things she did. But she was Dildo Girl, and I think she probably had a heart attack when all the introductions were done, and Matt opened up this season with a prayer as her dildo was sitting on the table with with
I did not
everyone
even think
around
about
it.
that.
So I don't know. He seemed to laugh a little bit when she brought it out, but she probably internally was like, "Whoa,
Dying.
went down the wrong avenue with this one." But he took it pretty well.
Yeah, he seems to go with the flow really well. If you're going to be the bachelor or bachelorette, you definitely have to, and especially as a contestant too, which we'll get into later, which some people cannot go with the flow very well. There's also Maggie, which is also your name. She's from Ethiopia.
Yeah, I think so. And I am sad that we just haven't seen more of her on our screen because I think she's super sweet, super cute, brings differences to Bachelor Nation that we haven't seen before. So I hope that we will get to see more of her on our screen coming up.
With how many girls there are, it'll be really interesting to see who stands out quickly because there are so many.
Yeah,
Like, and then we'll get to Queen Victoria. What do you think
Queen
of Queen Victoria
Victoria, Queen
from episode
Victoria
one?
from episode one. Trying to block out everything that's happened since. Just to me, that's just not my kind of girl. So she kind of annoyed me first move, but she came in confident, so you can't knock her for that. But she
Yeah. I
maybe
disliked
came
her right off the
in
bat.
she came in hot. She came in hot.
Yeah, I think she's
Um,
pretty awful. She doesn't seem super intelligent compared to all the other girls. And I always hate to judge a girl based on or anyone on The Bachelor based on
yeah,
like their
their
intros and
edits
stuff.
and yeah,
And yeah, it's edited, but right off the bat, she's real cocky and she seems not the most intelligent person. But
no,
I like to give people the benefit of the doubt because you don't really know people, and this is such a kind of a messed up situation to be on The Bachelor. Like I always think like, why would you do that? Why would you do this? But in reality, if I was on The Bachelor, which I would be so good on The Bachelor, Maggie's always said that that like how you don't know how you'd react dating someone that's also dating 20 other people. It would be pretty
yeah,
awful. Like maybe
no.
she's not really like that in real
I know.
life.
I always like to think, um, this is an edit or this is kind of maybe producers getting in her head, but I do kind of think this Queen Victoria is Queen Victoria. I don't know. I think she plays the part. Like this is not something made up, but we could find out later on that you know this is something they've put her up to. But she seems to be full on Queen Victoria, so I respect it. I respect it. The confidence.
From episode one, I really liked the girl who didn't like Queen Victoria, who said she was CEO. You know what her name was?
Oh gosh, trying to think back. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, she was really cool. She seems like a very intelligent person. Did you have any ones that stood out to you?
I think well, this kind of pushes to the end of episode one, but I think a big standout was Abigail, who ended up getting the first impression rose and came in um, directly stating her disability and how she wanted to handle that going through this process and bringing that to Matt, which I thought, she was just so sweet and so um, uh, just, just came in, confident about making herself known and making, others aware of, maybe the assistance that she'll need going through this process. So I just thought she was awesome first night.
Yeah, it was really cool that she won the first impression rose. So that noise you heard, that was the first appearance of Luna, Maggie's
I knew
golden
that was
retriever.
gonna happen.
We oh, it's a guarantee. So if you maybe one day you'll even get to meet Luna because she might jump on top of Maggie while she's doing
I'm
this.
sure we'll have meetings. I also have a cat who I'm honestly shocked she hasn't walked across yet. So just stay prepared for that.
Now, I have a small dog that you'll probably meet at some point too, if you're lucky. I'm trying to scroll through. Oh, I really liked Kaylee. She was really cool. She didn't make a huge first impression, but she was really cool. Oh, Kayla. Do you remember Kayla?
You'll have to give me a
She,
spot.
she's one of the really pretty African American girls, and she spells her name with two H's.
Is she the one that had the first date in the next episode?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
loved her. I can't remember her making like a big first impression, but I do really like her.
The thing that I thought right when I saw her, I was like, she has to be related to Rachel. Isn't that
Yeah, Rachel Lynn.
Rachel? Yeah, she looks a lot like her. At least I thought she did. Like her facial structure looked really
Mm.
similar to Rachel's. So the one girl who said she was CEO, that her name's Kit.
Kit, yes, she is the fashion whatever fashion guru is her job. Came in with some actually interesting fashion the first night, which is what caught my eyes. The interesting outfit she had on. I just felt like if you're coming in saying you're a fashion guru, you got to come in hot with the outfit, and I feel like it didn't quite live up to par. Someone, for the life of me, I can't think of her name. I think she is a model. She was like bald, and I thought she had a black dress on. Um, Came in as a showstopper, night one, and I can't think of her name off the top of
Yeah,
my
we'll
head.
be better with names going forward, but I'm not 100% sure. One of the girls I liked right away, I'm pretty sure she had a green dress on and green earrings because I'm really into green because of Notre Dame. As you can see, me and Maggie both were repping Notre Dame, but she was like awesome, Rachel.
Rachel, yes, I did really like her. Um, she was definitely a standout night one. Um, Obviously, her dress, she looked beautiful, and then I just felt like she spoke so eloquently and was confident in a positive way, not like Queen Victoria way. And
Yeah, we're not
I
fans of
think
Queen
Matt,
Victoria.
I think Matt took to Rachel pretty early on too.
Hmm.
Even night one, I think it seemed like they had a good connection.
One of the last people that I think made a really good impression was Sarah. I think she seems like also a very smart human being. Like she just knows what's going on.
Yeah, Sarah, yeah, she'll come up a lot more in the coming weeks. But yes, she did make a good first impression, and um, even moving forward, had a really good first, move in the Bachelor world. So
So I think basically covers episode one. There's not a whole lot going on in episode one. It's just intros and stuff. If you would like
yeah,
to move on to episode two.
yeah, that's fine. I think that covers episode one. Thought he made a great first choice for first impression rose, and that's pretty much all that happened night one.
Yeah. So for episode two, we start off with a one-on-one with Bree. So what
Oh,
do you think of Bree in that first date?
I thought I loved the date. I thought Matt was a little reckless with the ATVs and flipping them over. Um,
When that happened, I
yeah.
thought of you because that would be you on a jet ski and not me. I'd be like going slow, and Maggie just goes like 60 down a turn and just
Yeah,
fucking rides
I
it.
would have loved it, but and she took it very graciously, but I feel like some of the girls there, if that would have happened, it wouldn't have ended so well. Like I feel like he could have definitely had a worse person on that date to flip into the mud. That could have had a whole mental breakdown.
Oh, for
So I'm
sure. If
glad,
Queen Victoria was on that, that would not have ended well.
no, I'm glad it was them, and they seemed to hit it off really well. And I know he was like very apologetic, like, oh my gosh, I hope her mom isn't mad. I flipped her off this thing, but I felt like it was very like forward thinking, not like he didn't care, but just like that's a bad first impression to someone's parents that I almost killed their daughter on this thing. So I felt like he liked her enough to be thinking about like what her parents would think of that, or just wanting to make a good impression on her and them. So
Yeah, I
um,
loved Brie. I thought she was super cool. They seemed to have really good chemistry right away. Like he seemed super into her. You can always tell right away when they just have a good connection. Like she already seems like somebody that's going to the Final Four just off the bat.
I agree. I think, I think she's up there. I think they hit it off really well, and he chopped wood shirtless. So I feel like that might be unsafe, but it did what it needed to do. So what can you do
Yeah, as
on
soon as he took off his shirt and started chopping wood, I knew that they were like destined to go far.
yeah, yeah. That was the mark right there. No, the date. First of all, side note, I have to point out that this place that they're at, and I think it's Nemacolin versus where Tasha was at in La Quinta, is just like two different worlds. This place is beautiful. I feel like there's so much to do. Um, the dates already in the first couple episodes have been way better than the things they were doing in La Quinta and the weird stuff they were putting together there. So I think even just being in that environment on a date is awesome for, you know, in the fall
Yeah, it
and
makes
in the
for
summer.
way more exciting dates than
Yes.
them going and doing like a haunted room or whatever the hell they
Yeah,
were doing.
doing
And that was
random
awful.
things.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
couldn't do anything on Tasha's season. And
Yeah.
this has already been the most exciting date, just like the first one-on-one of
Yes.
all of Tasha's.
Yeah, I agree. This place is beautiful, and I think hopefully that will be a positive thing, and then they can do cool dates and get to know each other and stuff. So that was just a side note, and I just thought I should point out how beautiful this place is, and it really shows on these dates that they're going on.
So from there, we go to the group date, which was the wedding photo shoot.
The famous
They,
wedding photo
yeah,
shoot to scare everyone date.
yeah, we've done this before on, I want to say multiple other seasons,
Oh,
and
so many.
it's awful. It really, I think it's like the worst date. It puts them all in such a weird predicament, and they all like
It is.
they have to look happy and like they like this, but I would hate this.
Yeah, it was funny because I follow Ben and Becca Tilley, who are now really good friends, following everything. And he pointed out when he was the Bachelor how he never wanted producers to do a date like this. Because he felt like it was just weird. And Becca Tilley was the one that got this date, and she like tweeted back at him like, "So did they set me up for failure like from the beginning because I had to put on this wedding dress?" And it is just weird. Like Tasha did it. They did this photo shoot last in the very last season, but I guess
Yep.
he ended up winning. So or winning, I guess. So maybe it does work. I don't know, but the new Bachelor photographer Franco is a win. Love him. Love him.
Yeah, he's super fun. Like just the fact that he even has a name and a character is
I
super
know.
funny. And he
I'm
was in
glad.
two of the dates.
Yeah,
He's been on more dates than anyone.
I know. I'm here for Franco. I hope he keeps coming back and doing awkward wedding photo shoots.
I thought it was kind of bullshit that they didn't all get to take pictures with him. Like they all got in their dresses and didn't all get photo shoots with him. That sucks.
Yeah, I felt like that ended like really quickly too. They didn't really get to many of the girls. Of course, Queen Victoria got up there and
Yeah, cut
with
everybody.
her, yeah, with her black bra, with her wedding dress, which was just, these girls are really, you can tell when girls don't like each other because they don't help each other out with situations like this. So with that many girls there and no one told her that was not a good look, you know, Queen Victoria is the outsider in this in this
It might have been
situation.
too late at that point too, because she might have just had that on and then had to change into a wedding dress. It's like, well, it is what
Yeah,
it is.
you gotta work with it, Queen. Can't
Yeah,
help.
you be the queen. Did she just have a tiara with her? Or did they like have one for her to wear? Because if she just carries that with her at all times, that's pretty sad.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if she does, but I think production probably just loves
Yeah.
Queen Victoria, so they probably have crowns on deck at all times because they know she'll wear it. So I don't know. Could be either way.
So after that, we got the one-on-one with Sarah, and I was talking about how I liked her first impression. Well, this really made me like Sarah right away. She also seemed
Yeah.
like she has a lot of intelligence, and then she opens up about her dad's ALS, which I think most of us know what ALS is, but her
Mhm.
describing it made me understand it more. Just even as an adult who knew what it was, like I felt like, oh, that's what it is. Like
Yeah.
I was nice to hear like what it is and how it affects her, and I really like her like right away.
Yes, I think she really came off so good in her first impression here. I love that she's opening up about this. I know at first she was very hesitant. The first portion of their date was really awkward because she didn't know how to talk about it. And just opening up to this to the whole world is really probably a scary thing. But I think it's so awesome how even the past couple seasons, Bachelor has really been bringing like really important things to light with the people opening up, contestants opening up about really important things. So I thought it was awesome that she also took, like you said, took the time to explain ALS and everything it involves, and um, yeah, just all the things her family's going through. Being a caretaker has to be really difficult situation, and even going to the show while she's playing that role has to be really hard knowing what she's leaving behind. So yeah, she definitely took um, all of us and Bachelor Nation by storm when she opened up about all that. And the day was great. And I think Matt really likes Sarah.
Yeah, for sure. She's another like top four contender right off the bat,
Yeah,
which is good. I know in seasons past there haven't been, at least in my opinion, there have been like a weak cast. This feels like a really strong cast of girls.
I agree. There's a lot of strong personalities in this group, as well as just strong girls and awesome girls opening up about all kinds of things and just really seem like really good people.
Especially for their ages too. I noticed quite a few of them were like really young and they seemed really mature for their ages. Like 21-year-olds, 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds.
Yeah.
I know in the past like ABC has been skeptical on getting a lot of young people because of what season was it where there was a lot of young people and they were just very immature. It was
It was
Colton
Colton
season.
season.
That was a really bad season. Well, I think this has like across the board almost the same age girls and they seem really mature.
Yeah, I think I mean we found out because with Claire there was a big push for an older demographic,
Hmm.
and I don't. I mean, of course it was guys, so it's a little different too. But
And it was
I
a
don't.
disaster too.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do it. It's just you never know what kind of group you're gonna get, how they're gonna work together, how they're gonna live together. It's just kind of there can be mature young people and immature old people. You just never know. So no, I definitely don't. I think these girls are young, but also are showing a lot of maturity, and some of them are showing a lot of maturity.
So yeah, I'd say a good portion of them. So in the rose ceremony, Sarah almost passes out. And or did she pass out? I guess I don't really understand what happened there.
And well, right at the end of the episode, it stopped. It didn't really show, so it seemed as if she was gonna pass out, but she did, and she did actually, um, kind of pass out and have to take a step away from the situation.
Yeah, I think that's a really bad sign if you just got a rose on a one-on-one that went really well and you're already about to pass out on a one you're not even like getting a rose or not because you already have it. Like
Yeah,
she might just not be geared up for this. Like you could tell before even episode 3, like this might not be for you. I'm sorry.
yeah, and I think it's hard because you just never know. Of course, she has a lot of external variables with being there, with thinking about her family at home and her dad. You just never know. I don't think how you're going to react in a situation like this. I think, and especially having early on dates, it puts you in a really tough place because you get that target on your back when the other girls know that you have a good connection, and then you have a good connection, but it might be weeks before you get to see him alone again. So I think it's just a lot, but she definitely really was freaking out. So not maybe the best place for her to be.
So I guess we'll transition that into episode 3 because it kind of just does it on its own. So right off the bat, we get to go to was it the group date first with Ashley I?
Yes, with Chris Harrison's book.
Surprise book. I know you told me that Chris Harrison wrote a book, and I would be surprised. Yeah, I would have never guessed that Chris Harrison wrote that book.
I'm the biggest Chris Harrison stan. I just love him. I think for the longest time he was just this Bachelor host. He played this part and just was the guy that, is proper, walks in when he needs to. But lately he's been, doing more podcasts in off seasons and just like showing so much of his personality. We've been getting so much more out of him, and I love Chris Harrison, and even this was just like shocking. But I love how his personality came through on the date too, because he was like laughing and giggling and like, oh my gosh, did you hear that? It was just great. I loved it.
Yeah, the when I used to watch this in high school, I always thought he was like a big square. Like I was not a fan of Chris Harrison. He would just come in and say, "Hey, it's time for the final rose." Like that's essentially what his character was, just boring as fuck.
Yeah, I think up until maybe just like a couple seasons ago, even he was
just like the last
this guy
2 or
that
3
did the same thing over and over again. And then we started to get to know him way more, and he's just a really cool guy, I think. And this just kind of shocked the world because it was even his. I mean, I'm sure she knew, but his girlfriend Lauren Zima, she's one of the biggest Bachelor recappers there is for E News, and she was like said, how shocked she was that this was something that came from him, and just I don't know, just shocked everyone, I think.
Yeah,
and on
then,
top of that, having Ashley I read it, who was Bachelor's token virgin until she got married to Jared, a year or two ago, it was just kind of funny.
And on the date, like they had them reading this, and then obviously they bleeped out a bunch of stuff. I would love to have heard like what they were saying, and especially like Queen Victoria's, and there was one other one. Maybe it was the dildo girl, right?
Yeah, I
Who
think
were really going in hard.
Went hard. Yeah.
Dildo girl. She'll always be dildo girl from here
Dildo
on
girl.
out. I'm sorry.
We love
We've
girl.
had shark girl, or what was it, dolphin girl. We've had all different kinds of girls, but
love. Yeah, we love all the people that get to be tokened as other things, but we do love dildo girl.
So after that group date, which went really well, surprisingly, I'm surprised. Like if I was Matt, I would not have liked that date. But
yeah, I think another situation where I feel like maybe not the right person for this sort of situation, but I mean, you never know people behind closed doors, whatever. So, but they also brought in the girls that weren't on the date to listen to their story, which obviously with Sarah was another thing that really put her over the edge. But I just thought that was wild that they're like, what in the world, as they're watching these crazy stories. But yeah, of course,
yeah,
they
awkward.
have to add a little spice to the date.
So from there, we get to go to the one-on-one with Serena.
Yeah.
And I thought I liked Serena, but I didn't feel the connection with Matt and Serena as I did with other people. Like it seems like he's very rose happy. Like he's just going to be very happy and do well and give out roses. Maybe just because of his inexperience on The Bachelor, or maybe not. Maybe he did feel a connection with her, but it didn't seem like it to me.
I do agree a little bit. I think he's very much in the space of not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings, which we see a lot in episode 3 of him doing things that maybe people that have been on the show and been on the other side of things wouldn't do as a lead, and that's where this season gets a little interesting with him never having done a Bachelor show before. But I agree, I think she's very sweet. I really like her. But side note, I have been wanting to ask you, how you felt when she asked Matt if he was a weird kid because he had a turtle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
I had like multiple turtles as a kid, and I
so many
love turtles.
turtles. I was like, Tyler's feelings are gonna be so hurt.
I was sad at that. Like, how's that weird to like turtles? Turtles are awesome.
They are awesome. But I was like, oh my gosh, right, Wiley, R.I.P. We had Wiley forever, and
First pet ever, Wiley the turtle,
but I feel
named after
like,
Wiley Coyote.
yeah, yeah, that really stuck out to me. But I did really like really like her. I felt she was so sweet. You can't, on his defense, I feel like you can't not like her. They may not have had the greatest connection ever, but maybe it's so early on that he's like, you know, not
Yeah,
gonna
give it a
get
shot.
rid of her because she's a great. You can tell she's just like super sweet and nice, and we'll see where this goes. So maybe not the greatest connection off bat, but something that can be explored.
Yeah, Victoria, Queen Victoria's still around. How could you get rid of Serena?
Yeah, Queen Victoria's gonna be around.
I do like that ABC limited the number of people who have the same name. Like, this is the only person with the same name. We don't get four Sarahs, four Victorias,
Yeah,
and
well, that does happen a lot.
that happens too much. It makes, as much as I'm bad with names, it makes it so much worse.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we don't have anyone.
Yeah, just this Serena. And so that then we get to Sarah, who opens up about how she possibly wants to leave.
Mhm.
And who does she talk to about her situation?
Katie, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was Katie. It was Katie. Yep. And how Katie's father had just passed, like previously, not too long ago. That was really sad, and it was interesting to like see that dynamic between them. And I
I
almost
felt
felt
like,
like Sarah was too mature for the Bachelor anyway. Like, this was just she's too grown up. Like, you have to be a little immature, a little geared up for this, and she was just back home with her dad. Like, she probably should have never came in the first place, but she wanted to give it a shot.
now, well, I know we're doing some news at the end of the show each week, but I feel like this news should be brought up while we talk about everything going on with Sarah. So
Okay.
since which can, bring us a little bit of speculation, but since her leaving this week, there's been a lot of people coming out with different stories about Sarah, which has really shocked me because I loved Sarah. I felt like she was so sweet in her story. But there's been a lot of maybe not so great things coming out about her going on. Obviously, I think everyone at this point goes on The Bachelor for more followers and being, getting their name bigger. But this seems to be like a Jed situation where she had a boyfriend at home and said, I'm going on The Bachelor to get my name out there, but you'll still be here when I leave. So I don't know if she was maybe getting in too deep and was like maybe liking
So,
Matt and
so
was
she had a
like,
boyfriend.
that's what the rumors are. And there's also been
Oh.
um, someone close to the family that came out and said she like clearly lives in LA, her family lives in San Diego. She doesn't actually play her father's caretaker and that she shouldn't have played up this situation on her father's behalf to get, people to like her on TV. So there's just kind of been a lot of negative things coming out about her, which
Hmm.
you never know what's true and what's not true, but just kind of a really different side of things. Um, since we all kind of fell in love with this version of Sarah, so we don't really know what's going on. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't really have an opinion on that because we don't really know. And if she did lie about it, that's kind of sad. But
yeah,
hopefully, it would be such a tough situation. Like, did she actually quit her job? I'm assuming that part's true. She quit her job because of her dad. But
yeah, I don't think that's not true, and I think um, at this even before she came on Bachelor, she was in an influencer situation. Had a really big following. She even pictures came out that she was dating G-Eazy at one point. So just
Oh wow.
yeah, from like early last year, pictures were coming up of them hanging out together. So someone that already has a big following and was doing the influencer world before this even happened. So I don't think whether or not she quit her job to help her dad is probably true, but she already had a big job in the internet world. So
Okay. And that's where this ends. So this is the end of episode 3. Did you have anything to add about episode 3 or anything else before we get into the news?
I don't think I had anything to add. I did like Dildo Girl Katie, how she kind of showed a lot of maturity. I think one of the most sorry, my dog. One of the most mature conversations I think we've ever seen on a bachelor situation, just like really talking about things and handling things when a lot of the other girls in the situation were not handling things in a mature way at all. I felt like the way they handled Sarah and talked to Sarah, I felt like was definitely uncalled for in this last episode. Um, Especially, Victoria, Kit, some of them were really taking things way too far. So I really liked how she came in and just brought a lot of maturity. But yeah, I think that's all of episode stuff. There was also some news with Queen Victoria's um, mugshot from a couple years ago was released this week when she stole $250 worth of makeup from a drugstore, from like a grocery store. So just some fun details that have come out about her. And that's a lot of makeup at a drugstore. That's a lot.
I don't know how much makeup costs, but it seems like it would be quite a bit, like a good purse full.
A lot. That's a lot in a high-end store, not so much, but in like a Kroger or wherever they say. I think it was like a Publix or something where she's from, and that's a lot of makeup. So that was kind of a crazy bit of news that came out about our
I'm gonna have to
lovely.
look up that mugshot. That's gonna
It's
be
good.
a
It's a
good
good
one.
one. Yeah,
I
our
needed a new
queen.
background for my phone too.
Yeah, our queen really came through with some good news for us this week.
I hate how she always calls him king. So we'll just go. We're into the news now, so we'll just talk about all kinds of stuff. So I was thinking about Victoria and past people like Victoria, like we had Corinne, we've had Courtney, we've had different people that were like the infamous person of that season. Even guys like Juan Pablo, he was kind of just the
Yeah.
guy. Like
What was
I wonder where she'll like match up because I really off the bat dislike her a lot.
yeah. It's
Like maybe
hard.
more than all of them.
Yeah, had some we've had some Bachelor Nation villains, I guess is what they like to call them. Whether or not that's a thing is whatever. But
Oh, it's a
that we've
thing.
had some that really, after the season, really turned themselves. We get to
Yeah.
see who they really are, who've been, super awesome. Like Olivia, I love her, was
Hmm.
a villain. Just several people that have really been able to show who they really are besides their edit. But we've had some that don't don't show up. So I wonder what we're
Who
gonna
was
see
the
with
girl
Queen.
that like changed her voice was different and people always accused her of going, "Oh, hey." And then
That was
like
she literally came to mind. Crystal.
Crystal. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, and she's one of those that after her seasons have really, we've really Bachelor Nation has really come to love her, and
Yeah, I really like her now too. She was good on that other show with Bachelor in Paradise.
Paradise.
And
Yes,
she
she
got
was,
married.
and now divorced, and now is pregnant with her
What? She's
boyfriend.
divorced?
So
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Look,
so
here you go.
see, this
We've got
is this
news.
is
This
where
is the stuff
Tyler and
I
I
don't
are
know.
so different, and I really need, since we're doing this, I need your love for Paradise to grow as much as mine, because Paradise is where I feel like all of Bachelor Nation, just everything happens in Paradise. So yes, Crystal and Goose, they got married. Um, were married for like 8 months before they separated.
I did not know
Um,
that.
when they separated, this was like a big story a couple months ago. When they separated, Crystal got pregnant before they were divorced, and now
Is it
she's
his?
no, it's this person she's with now.
Oh.
But there was like a big timeline craziness when she announced her pregnancy. Like, when did this happen? And then people were putting it together of the timeline, and then she, you know, filed for actual divorce, and so that's kind of been a crazy story. But yeah, she's pregnant with who she's
Yeah,
with.
math is pretty easy when you figure out how many months pregnant you were and
Yeah, if you
how
can count
when
to
you broke up.
nine,
That's
you
pretty
yeah.
easy.
Yeah, if you can count, like, add and
Hmm.
subtract to 9, it's pretty easy to figure out. And the timeline, you know, people figure this stuff out within seconds. So everyone was like, whoa, like, this isn't
They
right.
seemed
But
really happy together.
they
I
did
even saw them
for,
after Paradise, and they seemed really happy.
yeah, I really did like them together. You know, you never know what people are portraying and what's actually happening. He seems, um, Chris, I keep thinking Goose. Like, what is his actual name? Is Goose or Chris? And
Yeah, Chris.
he seems to have had a lot of kind of sadness and depression since all this is happening, but also, you know, happy for her. Can't be upset with someone that is happy and bringing new life to the world. So that's kind of a
I
crazy
could still be
situation.
upset.
You can be upset. You can find
I would
whatever
be pissed.
side of the line you want to sit on. So yeah,
I'd be more than pissed.
yeah. In Chris's situation, I can understand. From the outside looking in, I can't really have an opinion because I don't know what, you know, their life was like or their relationship. So whatever. So that's happening. She was one of those villain people that we've actually come to love afterwards. So
Yeah, I did. I liked her too, but now I don't know if I do. That was a quick turnaround. I
it
didn't
was
like her and then
very
did, and now I don't. I don't think.
very quick turnarounds with her. But yeah. Um I don't know where we were going with all this villain stuff, but
I just brought it up. I was just comparing different seasons of
yeah,
villains.
I really do wonder where Queen Victoria is gonna fall when all of this is done and we can see
How
what
long is
she's
she gonna
really like.
last? They don't even seem like they like each other. Like she obviously likes Matt, who wouldn't like that god, but
Oh yeah.
he, but does he even like her? She got the last rose
it's
on the very first one, and that means
it's
ABC gave her that
definitely
rose.
it's definitely production. There's no amount
Yeah,
of, oh my
there's no
gosh, the
way he
most
likes her.
cringeworthy thing, I can't even believe I forgot when she went to talk to him about whoever it was at the time, and
Oh yeah,
he and asked him for a kiss at the end. How cringy
yes,
and
that
awkward
was
was that?
terrible.
Yeah, that makes me
Can I get a
feel,
kiss?
yeah, that made me
What the?
feel
Come
really
on,
weird. So
that
no,
was
we,
laughable. That was
yeah,
laughable.
yeah.
And she also looked like a bad kisser. I'm not, I'm just I don't know. I can't confirm, but
I can't confirm.
she
You
looked
haven't
like a
kissed
bad
her.
kisser. It when you ask for a kiss on The Bachelor, I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
time
all
to
bad.
just you gotta dip. You're done.
Yeah, you gotta
Just leave.
bow out at
Yeah.
that point.
Sorry. I just
But
know I'm
I
not
don't think
here.
I don't even think she sees that. So I
Self-aware.
don't know.
No, she's not
No,
self-aware.
not at all. So that's, I don't know how long she's gonna last. There's already been a couple situations where there could have been a 3-on-1, and like she keeps like winning these situations, and people keep leaving because of her. So I don't
Yeah.
know how many more people she's gonna take down before they get her out of here, but I hope it's not that many, because if that was me, I got sent home because of her, I would be so pissed. No, there's
I
no,
wanna see you on The Bachelor, Maggie. I wanna
I
see
don't, I can't. I
that
would
would be
not thrive.
amazing. That would
It
be
sounds,
amazing.
yeah.
I do you think you'd be a really jealous girl that would get pissed? I think I would be. That'd be hard to watch someone date someone
It,
that you're dating.
I definitely, I feel like can be a jealous person. I don't know what I would be like. I feel, I don't know. Just hearing things, I can see it going so many different ways. Like, I can see myself like really being frustrated with being around that many girls and people like
I think
Victoria.
you would make friends. You'd make
I
friends with
just
them
can't
for
handle
sure.
people like that. But I definitely would be like the Beccatellis and the Jodos that like become best friends with someone, and I would be
Yeah.
sad because I got sent home and now I miss my best friend. So I don't know. I just would not thrive in that situation.
Yeah, I think I don't know how I would be in that situation. It would be pretty awful, but overall it would be hard for me because I'm married. So
Yeah, that
It
does
just
pose a
it does
problem.
complicate a few things.
Yeah, Lisa might not love that.
But I mean, I think other people that have been on the show have been close to married and go on the show anyway. So I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be
Yeah,
that hard.
it becomes a problem at some point, but it's been done, so
Yeah,
you never
basically.
know.
So even winners like Jed.
Yeah, that's a big problem. And that you see how that worked out. So maybe let's not do that.
Poor Hannah Brown.
We love Hannah Brown's. I'm a
Yeah,
big
I
Hannah
like
Brown
Hannah
fan.
Brown.
Big Hannah Brown fan over here.
I'm not really a hater on many people, just the villains mostly.
Yeah, and even then, I feel like they really deserve a chance to show their real self like afterwards. But people like Yosef who like continue to go down that negative path, they can be
That
done.
was with
So
Claire's season, right?
yeah, remember him?
Yeah. I disliked Claire so much that I just didn't really care. I just was not a fan of Claire in any way. I think almost everything out of her mouth was annoying.
She
But I
was
agreed with some
frustrating.
like yeah, I get some situations, but I just was not a fan of Claire.
I feel like, well, I have opinions, but that kind of leads us to the news, the big news of
Before we get to that, I want to say the reason I didn't like Claire. You know how I said like people seem intelligent and like she seemed very immature. She talked about how old she was all the time. Someone who's mature doesn't ever speak of that. You just
yeah.
are
Yeah,
mature.
she did bring that up a lot, which is frustrating. And I don't know if it's so hard to know like who people are and because I know like they made such a big deal about her age and being the old, going an older direction. So I don't know if that was like, which I do honestly think some of it was her being like, I am mature, but I feel like also some of it was them being like, we're going this new route because this is a more mature. So I feel like it was a lot of mixed things of,
She showed her immaturity just day one, how much she loved Dale, who she did not know.
yeah,
That
that
is
was,
the most
it was
immature thing
crazy.
you finally get. You're the Bachelorette. Give it a shot.
This,
I
and
get it.
this
Maybe
is,
he's the front runner, but give it a shot. What are you
yeah,
doing?
this is where my frustration comes in because, and kind of what I was going to say, if we would have had a full season with Claire, it could have ended up so differently. And she just went all in within seconds of meeting Dale. She was ready to go home. So I don't, why even, if you're going to fall like that or you're that kind of person, like, and not going to give anyone else a chance, why even take on this role as someone who has to date 30, 40, whatever, however many people, because we just didn't even get a season out of her. And if we would have got a full season, she could have hated Dale by week 7 and
Hmm.
ended up with someone else. You never
She
know. And
loved him
even,
before their first one on one.
yeah, which
Like
is kind of
weird,
creepy. Even
weird.
past leads have been like, you just, you're, sometimes night one, and sometimes you think and things change, but you still have to explore. Just like they always say, pretty early who your front runners are, but not like her, not like this is the person. And I don't know, but
So what's the news about her? Was there something new?
big news this week. There was speculation early on that Claire and Dale were not together. That came out, I forget what news released it, but shortly after, um, Dale came on Instagram and said, "Hey, Claire and I would like to announce we aren't together anymore. We're going our separate ways." You know how they always come up with their very interesting way, political way of saying we're not together, whatever. Um, so, but Claire was kind of radio silent for a while. Then on Thursday, she stated when she found out through this Instagram, or when we found out through the Instagram message, was the same time she found out they were not together anymore. So,
Oh,
like,
good.
totally. So, I think obviously they probably knew they were on the rocks, but he stated the breakup, and that was when she also found out they were like done, done. So,
Mm.
big breakup. Bachelor Nation this week with Claire and Dale.
I guess you should have given it a shot, Claire,
Yeah,
instead of
should
committed
have.
after 3 days.
Yeah, there could have been a lot more it hasn't been very long. These are things she maybe could have figured out by how many weeks? There's like
By the
11,
end.
11 weeks. If she would have given it that much time, she could have maybe seen um,
Yeah, or
the
maybe
stuff going
someone
on with
else would
Dale.
have like sparked her interest. I mean, she was literally done night one when he walked out of the car.
Yeah, and I think
Like that's stupid.
it sucks because I thought I loved Claire slash Tasha's group of men. I thought there were so many good guys in there that she could
There
have
were.
got to know. Even if it still ended up being Dale in the end and it still ended up the same way, like just get to know these people. They were all just so forthcoming with stuff about themselves and awesome, awesome things they had to share about themselves. And she really missed out on a group of guys that Tasha ended up, loving and being able to find someone. So I guess maybe that's the silver lining is Tasha's very happy with who she ended up with, and Claire kind of
Yeah.
did it to herself, I think.
Yeah. But remember, she was single by choice and she wouldn't settle for a men like that. That's what she
Yeah,
says.
I'm not a
But
man like that.
not a man like that. Good for you,
Yeah,
Claire. You don't settle. Maybe
no,
you'll be
lots
in
of
the oldest bachelorette in history for a second time.
no. I hope they don't go back down that road. I think her ship has sailed. I think, um,
We can
yeah,
only hope.
yeah. I think she needs to focus on what she's doing. The sad situation with her mom, figuring that, taking care of her mom too, going on, this theme of people having stuff going on with family and stuff like that. I think that needs to be her route. Bachelorette was not it.
No.
But if they did pull Dale and Claire down Paradise together, I would watch. I would love it. I think it would be hilarious.
There's
Don't
no
think it's
way.
there's no way, but I would be in front of my TV for that. So
Claire won't go back. She wouldn't go on
no,
Paradise. At least
we've
I don't think she would. I
we've
could see Dale
had
doing it though.
Dale definitely lots of speculation about Dale and his intentions, cheating scandals and all kinds of fame hungriness going on. So I don't know. I don't know
Is
if
there any
anyone
other
from Bachelor
news?
Nation would want Dale. Um,
Is This is fun to find out things that I don't know and have no connection to. Like I don't know how I'd ever even know.
I think the only other big news this week was, which I know you have absolutely no connection to, was the winners of Listen to Your Heart announced their breakup around the same time Claire and
Hmm.
Dale.
I
Brie
don't know
and
that show.
yeah, that was it happened right at the beginning of quarantine, and it was kind of the American Idol meets Bachelor
Were
singing
people from
situation.
Bachelor on that show?
Oh, it was all new people, all
So
but
it's just
music.
become adapted into Bachelor Nation, even though it's really not Bachelor related.
Yeah, they had to like couple up and
Mm.
whatever and sing, and they got judged on their singing, and then they brought old Bachelor Nation people to judge, as well as like some big singing names in to judge, and it was a cute show. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't watch, but it was at the time when there was negative things on TV, so it was great little Bachelor filler for the time being. But I have really thought they were a good couple. Sometimes sad, but maybe I
Mm.
know they were long distance in this quarantine thing, so maybe that played a big role in their relationship. So
So that'll basically about do it. We'll be coming with the like episode breakdowns and how we feel, and we'll probably go into more depth because it'll be easier just episode by episode. And we'll probably come out with that each week around Wednesday or Thursday. And starting
cool.
with this Wednesday or Thursday, I would bet.
I know. Last thing, Tyler, you usually don't watch the preview for our next episode, right?
I never watched the preview for the next episode
Okay. There's some big things
because
happening
they
this week.
spoil too much.
They do. But there's something happening. I won't tell you. We can talk about it in this week's recap. But there's something happening this week that's never happened on a season of Bachelor or Bachelorette. So,
Oh,
um, It's actually a really big thing, which I think is going to be a whirlwind for the cast and also for us to see how it goes. So big changes in Bachelor filming happening.
Wow, I'm super excited. I'm not going to watch it though. I'm not going to watch the preview. So it'll actually be revealed to me and be a surprise. I hate that they do that. I hate it. I wish they didn't
They
show that
do
stuff.
they do reveal a lot. So yeah, that'll be exciting for us to recap this week.
Okay,
Some big
cool.
big things happening.
So if you enjoyed this, hopefully you'll come back and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you like the video and share it around. We'll probably be on Instagram soon. We'll post that in the next one if we decide to do that. But I just want to say thank you to everyone. And Maggie, if you have anything you want to say or plug or anything.
Not really. Thanks for listening, and we will be uploading middle of the week, and we'll see you guys then.
Yep. And we'll be asking you next time, can we steal you for a second? This has been Tyler and Maggie. See ya.
Signing out. Bye.